landlord will just organize 2 or 3 agboros with one bulldog. They'll come and throw you out of the house. No. At some point, when we saw that we're getting stranded, we're like, anyone, apartment, room bacha, atokwam nuzo wari, atokwam nuzo nicha, atokwaramato. Ew, I'm dead. Hello, I no be JJCU. Look me very well. I be sharp evil girl, raised in Lagos. So hello guys, what's up and welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's me, your girl Barrister Nezewa, the international peperempe. Peperempe of Canada, peperempe of Umbano, peperempe of Umbudi. It's me, your girl Barrister Neze, and this is Neze Peperempe. Welcome back to my channel, guys. Today's video is very necessary, it's very needed. It's gonna be an interesting one, and it's gonna be very helpful for those who want to relocate. I'm not gonna bore you with so much intro. Let us dive right into this video. So my family and I relocated to Canada a few months ago, and if you do not know, I am a mom of 4. So I have a 9-year-old, a 7-year-old, a 5-year-old, and and a newborn baby who just turned 9 months. But when we relocated, she was just about 7 months. Now that's in the interest of those that do not know me already. All right, so if you know me, if you know your peperempe, if you've been following me for a while, you will know that I'm the most articulated and meticulous person. I'm a great planner. I don't like leaving things scattered or haphazard. I'm the kind of person that likes to plan things. Like, if you watch my travel vlogs, you understand what I'm talking about. I had everything arranged to the letter. All my I's were dotted, all my T's were crossed. I didn't want to be taken unawares. So for someone like me who is very articulate and meticulous, come on, it's a Virgo thing. People that it's like this Beyonce perfectionist thing, yeah. So for someone like me that likes all my things arranged, how I managed to find myself in a situation where I didn't have anywhere to go to with my family, like we're literally stranded in a strange man's land, millions of meters away from home, is crazy. So let me tell you what happened. The first thing that I believe that led to this whole wahala was what Lufthansa did to me. I don't know whether that video has gone up before this one or whether it will go up after this one, but we had a terrible experience with Lufthansa, and it cost like up to 2 weeks delay from when we were scheduled to fly. So we had already booked an Airbnb months before we left, and we booked for more than 3 weeks, which we believed would have been sufficient for us to have gotten a place. Like, there was no way we would have searched for 3 weeks very intensely and we wouldn't have gotten a place. So 3 weeks was fine. But when Lufthansa delayed us in Nigeria for almost 2 weeks, we just had 1 week to stay at the Airbnb before we had to leave. Now, what made our matter a little worse was after our booking was done, someone else had already taken the date immediately after us. So it's not like we had an option to extend. No, we didn't. We had to leave because someone else was to come in. We cannot tell the Airbnb ladies we're going to refund the person's money. Nah. So we just had to leave. Now, when we were in Nigeria, we tried getting a house. In fact, the Airbnb came as plan B. The first option was we wanted to get a house straight from Nigeria. We're a large family. I don't have power to start packing and unpacking. Do you know how difficult it was? Today you look for sugar, next tomorrow you look for pants in Airbnb, because you can't unpack there. So everything is still in the bag. Yeah. So our first option was to go straight to our house from the airport, but it didn't work. Trust me, I made a lot of efforts. I'm not one that rests on my oars. You guys know I'm a very hardworking girl. You guys know I'm a very hardworking and, a calculated person. So we contacted a lot of agents, we contacted a lot of landlords, we went through all the sites, Rent Faster, Facebook Market, and all those many places where you can rent a house. And some of them will book us for viewing. We'll tell them that we want a virtual viewing. Some of them will tell us that they don't do virtual viewing, that we have to be there physically. Okay? So that would cancel it. Some will send us forms when we fill our details and they see that those details are not in Canada. they would back out. Okay, because of that, we had to get a Canadian line, an online virtual Canadian line, just to we tried our possible best, but it wasn't working. And for the most part, the major reason why it wasn't even working was because these landlords and these agents were asking for a lot of things that we didn't have. So when we spoke to our friends that live here, they were like, oh, don't break a sweat, no worries. When you come, there are lots of houses that you can in fact pick from. They would even be rushing you. And we're like, hey, not them, they rush us. Come on, Canada, here we come. All right. So when we came to the Airbnb, we're very, very optimistic. In fact, we're almost certain that we're going to get a house. In fact, that day we landed, we started reaching out. Like, my husband will be on this laptop here. I'll be on the second laptop from morning till night. Application after application, application after application, rent faster. We had an idea of the house we wanted. We wanted a minimum of a 3-bedroom, because here you can't just lump children of same gender in one room. I think there's even a law that makes it illegal. We're a big family, we can't even stay in 2-bedroom. Okay, so we're looking for a 3-bedroom and at least 2 bathrooms. Yes, because I cannot afford in the morning when I'm rushing for school runs in the winter. Somebody will be shitting. So that person will say, come out, no, who wants to come out? Who wants to come out? Somebody cannot put in peace again. No, I need a 1 bathroom will not be enough for a family of 6. So we needed a bigger space. So we started looking for a 3-bedroom and at least 2.5 bathroom in Canada. Nobody warned us that Calgary, I don't know whether it's Canada as a whole. Please let me know what it's like in your province. But nobody warned us that Canada is experiencing, or Calgary is experiencing, a house crisis. Like, houses that used to go for $300,000 to buy like 3 years ago are now going for like $600,000. You can blame it on the influx of people coming into Calgary. Calgary is not like the new Toronto now. Everybody is rushing Calgary. I don't know why. It's not like it's warm here. We are so close to Antarctica. We are so close to Arctic, and our winter can get to -40. It is freezing here. But for some reason, a lot of people are flooding Calgary, especially Nigerians. And you know Nigerians have money. Don't even try us. We come with the ego. So because of all these factors and some others that I might not be aware of, housing in Calgary has blown and exploded. Some people told me that some 3-4 years back, landlords will be begging you to come and take these houses at half the rent that they were giving it up now, and nobody is taken. But let me not put the cart before the horse. I'm coming. So we started searching for houses, started booking for viewings. We always propose virtual viewing because we don't have a car. We didn't have a car, and taking Uber to go for viewing, something that you're not even certain would work out. You take Uber go, you take Uber come. Uber, for example, can be $50. Oh yeah, Pia na calculator. Calculate it in naira. That means in a day, you can be spending 100,000 naira on Uber. One visit, and you might have like 3 of those viewings in a day. So you can imagine how much we're spending on Uber, on taxi. And we're in the new developing areas. The bus routes and the train routes are not fantastic. In fact, we don't even have any close to us. It's very far. In fact, the issues are plentiful. Okay? So we're always taking Ubers. Even if there was a bus route, I don't know whether I will have power to go and start jumping the bus, but we're always taking Ubers. Long story short. Yeah? So we go for these viewings. We tell them that we are new, and they make it seem like, oh, it's okay. They can accommodate us. After the viewing, we start calling. We start sending mails. They won't even pick your call. You send mails, 1 day, 2 days goes, 3 days goes, nobody's responding. At the end of the day, you get an email that, oh, sorry, this house has been taken. Are you interested in this one? Another option. A beggar does not have a choice. We go, we see it. It's like they put us, the new immigrants, at the bottom of the chain. And when you go, you see other people who came for the same viewing. Yeah? So when you get that message, you'll be feeling bonkers. You'll be feeling sophisticated and powerful, like it's only you they called. When you go there, you see a whole village. They're going to show the house to. People will line up. Hey, God. Hey. So most times I was staying at home. My husband was the one going for these viewings. When we go, they will always give the house to people that already have history of renting in Canada. If I'm not exaggerating, we applied to up to 200 landlords. Up to 200. And I'm not kidding. I'm not exaggerating. Landlords from Rent Faster, housing agents, We were calling friends, family from other provinces. Jesus Christ. When we go, they will send us an application form and ask for a list of documents that we do not have. And even when we tell them, look, we are new immigrants, we don't have a credit history in Canada. We don't have proof of previous accommodation or previous rent in Canada. This is our first rent. We don't have offer letter or employment letter in Canada. Even when we're willing to show them my husband has a job in Nigeria and I myself am already earning in foreign currency, I get paid by Google, they were not satisfied. Yes, I understand that over here, tenants have a lot of rights. It's not like Nigeria that if you don't pay your rent, landlord will just organize 2 or 3 agboros with 1 bulldog. They'll come and throw you out of the house. No, over here, a tenant can stay in the house when he or she does not have rent because tenants have the upper hand here. So these landlords are trying to be careful so as not to rent their properties to people that will not be able to afford to pay the rents subsequently. And that is where they categorize newcomers. Unfortunately, it was going and going. Days were going. We had just 1 more week to stay at the Airbnb, don't forget. So from morning till night, all we were doing was trying to find a house. First, we were working with a budget. We added up to $1,000 on top of our estimated budget. And the first budget was not even cheap. The first budget is capable of paying a year's rent in Nigeria. I mean, 1 month's rent is capable of paying a year's rent in a choice area in Lagos or Abuja. I mean it. We had to top up and say, okay, let us expand our budget. Instead of this dollars, let us expand and say, okay, we can rent at this dollars. Let's look for houses at a broader scope. It still was not working. We're just wasting money on Ubers, going for viewings, and they never got back to us. Once they send the registration form and we cannot provide these documents, the credit history and all of that, employment letter, offer letter and all of that, we get kicked off. I read some comments as though, oh, we didn't do this, we didn't do that. Trust me. You cannot be more worried for me than I was for myself. So trust me, there was no stone that I left unturned or that we left unturned. There was nothing we didn't do. Is it guarantor? We offered 5 guarantors. We have a lot of friends in Calgary, and all of them were willing to stand in as guarantors. Those forms that came with fill your guarantor details, we filled them, and yet we were not given the house. This is a reality that people that are coming need to know so they can brace up themselves. Now, why renting from Nigeria might not have been possible was 1, many landlords were requiring physically seeing the person they want to lease their house to. 2, even if you have a relative that wants to lease for you, there are some places you will go to, they will check the name on the lease vis-a-vis the address you're providing. And when the name is written on your name, many times that tenancy agreement might not even be acceptable. 3, in some tenancy agreements, in some lease agreements, it is prohibited for you to sublease the property. So if I go and lease a house and I'm not living in it and I put my relation in that house, you have subleased the house and it's illegal. It is prohibited in several contracts for you to sublease a house. So it's like you tell the landlord that, oh, I'm going to rent for my friend, I want to rent for my cousin. Many of the landlords get turned off because they want to deal directly with the tenants. Or you rent it as though you are the one that wants to take it. Then you now put your relation here. And if that landlord finds out that you're not living there, that's a breach of the contract. He has a right to ask you to leave his house. So we faced all this. There was nothing that we didn't, try to do, but it wasn't working. So that's how we were. We kept on trying and trying. At some point, we had to even step down on preference. Yes, we wanted like a duplex or a townhouse, something a little bit exclusive and private. We didn't want to live in an apartment. 1, many apartments don't even come in 3 beds. Many of them are 1 bed, 2 bed. And secondly, we just didn't want to even live in an apartment. We wanted to have our own space and our own privacy. But at some point, when we saw that we're getting stranded, we're like, anyone, apartment, room bacha, atokwam n'ụzọ Warri o, atokwam n'ụzọ Onitsha, atokwara m atọ. Ew, I'm dead. I was, in fact, it's just that I have a very positive way of processing things. It's not my spirit is hardly broken. Things that can break me are extreme things like death and all those kind of things. But little challenges, I have a very good shock absorber that I know how to mitigate my stress. So I was just laughing. I would see my husband panting and sweating. Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, God, my husband was panicking. Me, when I see him, I'll be like, I would laugh at him. He was like, this woman, we are about to be homeless. Anyways, I don't blame him. My husband is a typical Igbo man, a provider. So he felt like he was the one that was not, handling that part of his job, providing accommodation. Maybe he didn't see it as a joke. Me, I didn't see it as a joke, but I was just processing it a lot more relaxed than he was. He was so stressed. He was sleepless. Midnight, early morning, that's all that he could think of. He was panicking. He was like, where will I take my family to? So, my dears, the days kept on coming closer and closer, and there was no hope. We even started offering the landlords multiple payments of rents, like multiple months in payments. Hello, I no be JJCU. Look me very well. I be sharp Igbo girl, raised in Lagos. So when I read some comments that, oh, you would have offered this, like, hello, who told you we did not? We even at a point had to offer up to 6 months. Do you know what it means to pay 6 months straight in rent? Put it on your calculator. Just use you cannot get a townhouse or a 3-bedroom 2-bath in Calgary, anything less than 2.5 or 2.6. I'm not telling you my rent, but that is the minimum, the very minimum, the lowest. So just type that 2.5 times 6. They add security deposit because they're going to collect security deposit. Security deposit is like caution fee. The landlord holds on to 1 month of the rent. It's not part of the rent, to the sum of 1 month rent as security deposit. So if you damage anything in this property, he uses it to repair. Okay, so whatever you're paying, you're still paying security deposit. So if your rent is $3,000, you pay $3,000 and still give the landlord $3,000 as security deposit. So we offered to pay in bulk. But still, these landlords were not convinced. As a newcomer that does not have a job in Canada, they felt that maybe after these 6 months, after luring them with these 6 months, then for the rest of the 6 months, we're not going to pay. It was something. It was an experience. Not a good experience, but I had already prepared myself that challenges would come. Challenges must come. Now, you're leaving your comfort zone. Living a place where you have lived 30-something years, 40-something years, and you're just coming to a place and you expect roses and butterflies in the first month. All true. No, now. There will always be times that things will not pan out the way you plan. All you have to do is just to brazen up, improvise, and, face the task head on. So I was really mentally prepared. But if you're not mentally prepared, you'll just be crying every day. When you remember that you don't have anywhere to go, you'll just be crying every day. So let me continue to gist. Where am I? I don't even know where I am. I'm just gisting and going on and on. I don't even know if this gist is conjunctioning and correlating. Let me know in the comment section if you're following me. So it's even got to a point where we were scammed. Like, seriously, we're scammed. There was this particular housing agents, because we're doing everything. We're going through landlords, we're going through Facebook Marketplace, Kijiji, signposts on the road, referrals from people. There was no avenue we were not exploring. So there was this housing agency. What's the name? Hold on. Let me read out the name so you guys can avoid them, so you guys can know them. Remax. Yes, Remax. That is the name of that's the name of the rental agency. We told these people, we came out clean because we were not hiding it. We tell them from the onset that we are new. So if it's not going to work, let's not bother going into it at all. Yeah. So we told these guys, we are new. We don't have this. We don't have credit report and all of those plenty things they asked for. And they were like, it's fine. So they showed us a house. And we didn't know that it was very deliberate. They showed us a house, made sure that they aroused our interest. And when we indicated interest, they now sent us an application form and said that we have to pay certain money. Is it $30 or so to apply? And when you are desperate, like, you cling on straws. It's like a drowning man would grasp on straws, right? So we were anxious. We paid the money. Anything, if it's going to work, give us the house. After we paid the money, voicemail. They now sent us a mail. Since you cannot provide this, we are sorry. We're like, wow. Are there no agencies that checkmate this fraud in Canada? Please, if you guys know any of these agencies, let me know, because that's why you're paying me. I say, hey, one for like me. Hey, this Oyibo person jobbed me. One for like me. It pains me. I said, oh, we informed you that we do not have these documents. Then you made us pay. Then after paying, you now sent us a decline mail that you can't rent without this. It was so painful. If I would love to follow it up with those people and get refunded, really. You guys should give me your advice in the comment section. So that's how that one passed. Imagine even getting defrauded just to get a house. There were some prospects that gave us really high hopes. We had filled the application form, sent to them. We're just waiting for, okay, come and sign lease agreements. So we're hoping that before the stay at the Airbnb comes to an end, one of such, there were many, about 4 or so, one of them would have pulled through. Instead of going to start booking Airbnb, paying thousands of dollars again, let us come and rent a place. But when it was getting closer and closer, and we're seeing that these people have put us on voicemail once again, we started looking for an Airbnb. And guys, it was the heart of summer. All the Airbnbs were taken. Some 3 months, 2 months, 1 month. The only Airbnb that we saw that had a closer date had 1 week taken before it becomes available. So if we were to leave that first Airbnb on Sunday, the one we saw next was next week. Is it Sunday or like a few days later? So we needed somewhere we can stay for like 3-4 days before we now move into the second Airbnb, because there was no single Airbnb readily available to move in immediately. There was nowhere to go. The other available places were, Canada is very big. When you hear Calgary, you'll be thinking that it's Maza to Maza, or Festac to Festac, or VI to VI. Calgary, one can be in Okokomaiko, the other one will be in Ogun State, and it's the same Calgary. So the other availabilities we're seeing, hotels and all of that, were so far. And we needed to operate within that place where we landed, because that was where our settlement counselor was. That's the people that we knew, where the school that want to get the children. In fact, everything that we needed was within that premises. So we didn't want to start traveling so far, isolated. It was crazy. New immigrants, beware. I'm not trying to scare you, but I'm just trying to make you understand that housing can be challenging in some places. It's not just about I have my money, I rent a house like Nigeria. No. So many times there's so many other requirements that are very unfavorable to new immigrants. And I was kind of disappointed. I was like, the government really has to regulate this sector. Like, come on. How can you deny people housing even when they have the money to pay? Yeah, I know everybody's trying to protect themselves, but come on. And housing is so important in your settlement process, because I now, as a mother with children, the sooner I get the house, the sooner I register my children for school. And sometimes if you don't register them on time, when it's time to register, they might tell you that there's no space. Canada, everything is booking ahead. You have to book ahead. It's not like Nigeria. You just carry your bag and carry your child. Say, come, I want to register my child. You just pay and enter. No. In Canada, you can just go to a school and they'll tell you, sorry, they are fully booked. Wait till the next session or the next whatever. So we needed to get the children in school. And you know that they have this arrangement where the school that your children are put in is within where you live, your residential area. They cannot just throw the children anywhere. So we needed to ascertain where we're going to live so we can start with the school process and many other things. Guys, it wasn't funny. It wasn't easy. So we had to leave the Airbnb, and God showed up for us. At the point I was like, Villians, if you see me on CNN in a refugee camp, it is me. It is I. No other person but me. Yes, we have checked into a refugee camp. In my comment section in that video, someone wrote that, hey, it would have been better if your husband came first and got a house and you came after. I was like, girl, if you don't like my face again, if you want me to stop YouTube, just tell me to stop. I will pack my camera and microphone and stop. Instead of you to kukuki me. Just tell me to stop YouTube. I will pack my camera and go. You won't see my face again. I should travel alone from Nigeria. We spent 2 days on the road with 4 children. None of them is up to 10 years old. Hey, God have mercy. God have mercy upon me. Do you know what me and my husband's eyes saw, even as two adults? Carrying a new baby she was just 7 months, a baby that cannot even walk. Carrying a baby alone is one person's full responsibility, because when a child cannot walk, the child is constantly on your breast. So when the other one, mommy, I want to wee, I want to pee, I want to poo-poo, I want Fanta, I want Coke. This one has changed. You have to change diaper. What we doing all those running around? In Nigeria, do you know how many hours we spent? Because we had to get to the airport early to be able to check in all our ngongo in time. We go to the airport early, spent hours in Nigerian airports, then go to Frankfurt. We had like a 9-hour wait in Frankfurt. Then go to Toronto, had another hours of wait in Toronto before getting to Calgary. So that's what I would have done alone with 4 children, including one that I'm carrying, with 10 hand luggages and 20 bags and 4. Come on. That would have not been practical at all. Such arrangement works when the children are few, maybe 1 or 2 children, or maybe when they are a bit big. Do you know how many times I had to hold the children down while my husband had to go and look for hot water to make baby food? You know, when you're carrying a small child, it is demanding. You guys would have just read the news. Nigerian mom faints in Frankfurt. They would just carry my fainted body and admit me, because it would have not been possible. Do you know what we went through? You run to NDLNA, you check in, you run to immigration, you go here, carry here. It's not a one-person job, my dear sister. I know your advice is coming from a good place, but we didn't consider that one, no. For one person to carry everybody and start coming. So let us come together. We'll manage. And manage we did. So we left the Airbnb and God brought a solution to us. See, I'm very confident. I'm very confident in the God I served. I'm very confident that He'll always show up for me. So somehow He just provided a temporary accommodation that we could stay in. So we stayed those few days there until the second Airbnb was now available for us to occupy. So we went from the first Airbnb, went to another house, unpacked a few things there, packed again, went to the second Airbnb, unpacked, stayed there, then packed again before we now started getting our own house. It wasn't easy, but we thank God that by God's grace, all that is behind us. It's part of traveling. It's part of relocation. If people tell you their relocation stories, you will marvel. You'll be like, what? Did you go through all of this? Sometimes some phases will be smooth. Sometimes it's not going to be all smooth. So bracing up. It will pass. So that is our homeless story. But eventually, we got a house of our dreams. It is beautiful and comfortable, and it's a space I would enjoy before, inshallah, we get our own place. So that is my story and that is my experience. Let me hear yours in the comment section. Let me know your immigration story, your house journey, your finding an accommodation journey. How was it for you if you came earlier, our seniors in the Japan history? How was it many years ago? Was it this difficult? And for those that just came, let us hear your own experience. People are going to read it and learn from us. That is why I'm telling this story. And for those that are coming behind us, our juniors in the Japan movement, brace yourself up and prepare for it. But I assure you that it will eventually pass. So guys, thank you for watching. I hope I've not missed out on any part of this story. If you're new here or if you're yet to subscribe, don't forget to hit the subscribe icon. Give this video a big thumbs up. Drop all your comments and feelings and experiences down in the comment section. Share this video to any Jakpa aspirants that needs to know all these things, and stay glued because we have so much more coming your way. It's me, your girl barrister Neze Peperempe International, according to my mother-in-law. And this is Neze Peperempe. I'll see you guys in my next one. For now, bye.